Hey everyone, it's Vintage Vinny and welcome to another haul video. Today I'm going to be sharing items that I picked up from the Needful Things Emporium in Charlestown, West Virginia, as well as a shop called It's Bazar on 21st Street, located in Purcellville, Virginia. So after my successful trip to the Harpers Ferry Indoor Flea Market, I decided to check out a place that I'd only been to one time. And I'd been there once. I wasn't too impressed with the prices of the place. I felt that a lot of the dealers there that had the older things were a little bit more on the expensive side. So what I did is I decided to give it a second chance, and I'm glad that I did. There was only basically one dealer that I bought anything from in here because the rest of them were artisan, crafty, made to look old. And then there were people that had depression glass and they were just priced way more than what market value is for them. So I really had to kind of dig a little bit more into some of these other booths. The only item that I got from another booth is this piece right here, and we'll get to that in just a second. So I spent a grand total of $56.98 at the Needful Things Emporium. So let's go ahead and check that out, shall we? I was really drawn to this plate here with the shells and everything. This is not my style per se of beachy. This looks a little bit more feminine to me. So I'm going to probably be offering this at a sale. Of course, I'm going to do a little bit of research on it just to see if it is anything. But I know somebody who really likes the true traditional coastal decor would love this. I'm not sure of the age as there's not a marking on it. But I know that somebody out there would love it. And it does hang on the wall because it's got a little wire to do so. So everything in this other booth that I bought the vast majority of this stuff in was 25% off everything. So pretty much everything you're going to see besides this this piece right here was 25% off the asking price. So I think what I'm going to do so this doesn't fall and give me an anxiety attack, I'm going to leave it on the ground right in front of me. So I did get these. I love these range shakers. We've got one for flour. I'm going to have to look in my kitchen book to see who made these because they only have it as, they put Hazel Atlas on there, so I guess that makes it a little bit easier. I love how everybody spells collectibles with an A instead of the I. I think that's kind of funny because it does, when you say it, collectibles. Well, actually, no, I take that back. It's not collectables, it's collectibles. So I don't know how people mix that up. Guys, I was very, very good at English spelling and grammar when I was in school. So math was never my strong point. I always did very well in English. So grammar, spelling, punctuation, I always did really well with that. And it does kind of drive me a little crazy when people don't say something correctly, like, okay, so not to go too deep into it, but like, let's say it dropped on the floor. Like, no, it didn't drop on the floor. It fell on the floor. Perfect example. Anyway, moving right along, we've also got the pepper shaker. So I'm just missing salt. And funny enough, one of the dealers here locally had the salt shaker, but I think they ended up selling it. So I missed out on that, but that's okay. It's not like those are hard to find. This one really caught my attention. I loved the blue rings on it. And I don't know if this one is marked. This one just says milk glass shaker with blue lettering. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that one. But I've never seen that before, so I thought, ooh, we're not focused. There we go. So I thought that one was really, really neat. So I went ahead and picked that up. And then we've got, like I mentioned, this is the only thing that didn't come out of this one particular vendor's booth. This is very heavy blue glass. They marked it as a sage bowl. I have no idea if this is Blanco or if it's... I really have no idea. I have to do a little bit more research on it. I just felt that the $9 asking price was right. And because this was in West Virginia, I know that this probably had some ties to Blanco or something. If you all happen to know anything about it, you can let me know down below in the comments section. But I just decided to take that because I love the color and I felt the price was fair for what that was. It's funny, you know, a lot of people will pass by a booth if it looks too, like, artisan-y or crafty, like not a lot of new, be it at an antique mall, which, you know, a lot of them today have the newer, like, primitive decor and such in it. Like, they'll just pass right by it if it doesn't really appeal to them. But what I find funny is that when I go into booths like that, they may have like a small little section of old things mixed in with all of the newer artisan stuff. And usually their prices on the older things are much better than, you know, other dealers in the mall and whatnot. So that was the case with this blue bowl. It was just mixed in with a bunch of like other sage and incense stuff. So I was really surprised to find that for $9, because I know if that had been in somebody else's booth, it probably would have been maybe $38 to $40. So that was definitely a good pickup. And then I found this skull here, and I really don't know if this is old or not. There's no maker's mark or anything on it. And I know that they've been making this kind of stuff forever, so I'm not really sure if this is older or if this is newer. I don't know what the heck this is on here, but it looks like there's some kind of yellow residue, which I could probably just clean up with a magic eraser. They just said vintage pumpkin with handles, $2. Well, that's not a pumpkin, that's a skull. She did have other ones, other pumpkins in there, so I can see why they probably just did that. This was, I think, like $1.50 with the 25% off discount. So I went ahead and got that. I also rummaged through the linens that this person had, and I spotted this one that I thought was kind of nice and somebody would like to have. Probably a dresser scarf or maybe even just like a table runner. If we unfold it all the way, it's a bit larger, so it would probably go well on like a buffet or, yes, even on a dresser. It's hard for y'all to see, but you can see there's a massive stain on it. So I don't know if I should attempt to get that out myself, maybe wash it with some, or I don't know, maybe I'll just sell it as is. But yeah, I thought somebody might like that for springtime, and if they want to get the stain out, more power to them. So that was all the smaller things from the Needful Things Emporium, but I did get one awesome item for myself that I was tickled pink to get my hands on. So this was a fantastic find in this particular booth. This is a Sunbeam bread thermometer. Now, it's not one of the old ones from the 40s or 50s. It's from 1970. But I will take it because, you know, for only, what did I pay for this? $15? I couldn't believe it. I saw this and I was like, what? And because the booth next to this person has a lot of advertising and such, and it's priced like a lot more what it should be. So when I saw this and then it had the 25% off discount, I was like, oh yes, that's coming home with me. Now, as you can see, there is some rust and everything in here, unfortunately, but, oh, there we go. That's much better. Sorry. But I don't personally care. I think my whole thing with the advertising is I know it's old, and of course, it sat out in the elements, so of course some of it is not going to survive. But I felt that even with the rust on the bottom, I can still see the Sunbeam Girl. I can still see the numbers. Like, it's just the bottom that's got the issue. And if this were in pristine condition, it would be worth a lot more. Granted, due to the rust, I'm not sure what I would be able to get for it if I were going to sell it. I can probably clean this out if I took it apart and got all that out. But I'm not sure what will come of that, so we shall see. So I'm going to definitely be holding on to that. I love this. I'd never thought in a million years I would ever be able to get my hands on something like this for less than $20. So that was probably my favorite pickup from the Needful Things Emporium. Like I said, it's been several months since I have been out that way with the inclement weather that we're supposed to get yet again after having a blizzard. It may be a little bit longer till I head out that way, maybe not until March. But yeah, I'm trying to play catch up here. I might be doing that for the next couple weeks just to get some stuff flowing, get some more things into my eBay store, and of course, offering things to you all at the live sales, just so that way I can start playing catch up and filming videos for you all for things that I've bought so far in 2025, as opposed to being behind several months. So I'm hoping you all are enjoying the little influx of videos that you've been getting this week. Just keep your eyes peeled. I'm probably not going to have another video out until, well, tomorrow is Thursday, and then I'll have one out Friday. So you probably won't see another video till Monday. And hopefully with me doing these videos consistently, I'll be able to have more out for you all next week. Because I do have a markdown shift Monday through Wednesday. And I'm usually up each morning at 6 to be there by 7. And I'm usually exhausted by the time I get home, so I don't want to do anything. But yeah, anyway, I will, of course, really maybe Saturday try to film the videos as best I can on top of doing everything else that I need to do, so that way stuff still stays on track. But anywho, that's what I got at the Needful Things Emporium. Let's go ahead and check out what I got at It's Bazar on 21st Street. So at It's Bazar on 21st Street, I spent a grand total of $82.15 on everything you're going to see. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I thought this was really interesting. I don't know if it has age to it, but they called it a cow tag. So I guess they had this, on the livestock. So I like I said, I have no idea if this is old or not. I just thought it was neat to be able to hold it in my hands. So that was cool. So in one of the booths, so it's a 2-story antique store. There was a booth that had some, if items were marked this way, they were $1. He had a little junk assortment and things were $1 a piece. So I grabbed these candlesticks. If this giant piece of marble doesn't roll away. There we go. And these were in it, so I assume they were probably $1 each. They're just little cornucopia, maybe, well, not really candlesticks, but you get the idea. So I think those were $1 each. Yeah, I think those were $1 each. Or no, maybe it was $1 for the set, because I got technically three things from them. This big old marble piece, it's got 2 holes on the side. And then I also got something else, which y'all will see in just a sec. And then I got these 3 Hazel Atlas Modern Tone, I think these are sherbet cups, if I'm not mistaken. So I got 2 in blue, and there was 1 in pink. So I think those were it was $6 for all 3, so that's what, $2 a piece, which I think was very, very fair for that. And then I also picked up this Jamal Permanent Waving Pads tin. It says no machine, no electricity, manufactured by the Marinella Corporation, which was on 33 West 46th Street in New York, New York. So that was really cool. Never seen anything quite like that before. So I decided to grab that. I think the price was fair enough for that. All right, so moving right along. I did find 2 pieces of Northwood, Dugan, Jefferson glass. I have no idea. In this blue color. It's got opalescence to it. I love this design right here. If I find out the pattern names for these, I will, of course, insert them for you all to see. But that was really, really nice. Like I said, I loved that rope, like almost that rope textured design on there. And then we've got this one. I love that. I love the color. And of course, I probably will end up washing these before I sell them. I'm not sure if those will be offer-ups at my sale or not, but we will see. And then I found this really cool coat hook. It's for dry hosiery. Dry indoors hosiery and silk undies. I read that completely wrong. But that's definitely one of the older hangers, as you can tell. But I thought that was really, really cool. So since I've got it in my hands, this was a really cool find. It is a little bit beat up and worn, but it's still functional. I guess somebody tried to use hot glue to fix it. So we've got whatnot, we've got cufflinks, we've got rings. As you can see, there's hot glue residue. Tie bars. So this is just a men's or gentleman's dresser caddy, or maybe like I guess he could put his pens or maybe his cigars or something at the top. That's made in the US. It's still functional. If you collect this kind of stuff, I thought somebody would still like it, even though it's got some damage to it. And then I got 2 magazines from the 50s. We've got Movie Life, and then we have Modern Screen. Now, these are from, I think, 1950, because Liz Taylor did the movie... Oh, boy, that's bad. They did a remake with Steve Martin, Father of the Bride. So, Father of the Bride with Liz Taylor was Spencer Tracy and her. I can't remember who else was in that movie. I haven't seen it. And then in the 90s, they did a remake with Steve Martin. And then we've got Movie Life. And I'm not really sure who this guy is. They usually have the... I didn't notice this until now, but there's some tearing at the bottom. But this was inexpensive enough. I love looking at magazines like this, just to get a glimpse of what it was like to be really hyped and pumped up for the big movies of the day. So I will, of course, be rummaging through those to see what those have to offer. All right. And to conclude my trip to It's Bazar on 21st Street, we've got this. I've had this a few times. I can't remember off the top of my head the pattern name. This is by George Spriard. So it's mid-century. Again, if I remember to insert the name, I will, of course, do so. But it's in good condition. No cracks or chips. I went to Hobby Lobby a couple of weeks ago because I was looking for these jewelry busts. I don't normally sell jewelry at my sales. I'm not really... I just don't pick up a lot of jewelry unless it's interesting or I get a big lot of it for a good price. But anyway, I have some necklaces that I bought at a thrift store, and I wanted to show them a lot better than what I've been photographing them for. How I wanted to make them look better than how I'd been taking pictures of them in the past. Did that make any sense? Anyway, you get what I mean. So I ran over there. They had them, thankfully. The big one that I have this necklace on, I paid $8.49 for. And then I have the smaller one, and that one cost me $6. So those are very fair prices for these. I thought they were going to be much more than that. So I would recommend, if you need these, check out Hobby Lobby because those are very reasonable for that. The only thing I'm having a hard time finding, and I went all over today. I went to Target, I went to Michael's, I went to Ross even to see if they had them, are the earring T-stands. And if you all remember my haul from a couple days ago, no, actually it was probably more like a couple weeks ago, I had bought that blue jewelry box with miscellaneous jewelry in it, and there were a lot of clip-on earrings and screw-on earrings, or screw-back earrings, and if I were to sell those, I would want to show them on one of those as opposed to just holding them up, because it just looks better. So I, of course, wanted to just make them look a little bit more presentable. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier, because this looks a lot better than me just holding it up, and plus the bust just kind of shows the piece a lot better. Anyway, so let's go ahead and I guess we can talk about the jewelry since I was just mentioning it. So here's the pendant that I found. I thought it was just really different. I've never seen anything quite like that before. That came from the dollar area from this one person's booth. So I was intrigued by that. And then I found these. These are, forgive the dust, like I said, these have been sitting since October. They're amethyst, because if you look through them in a light, you can see the purple, but they look black if you don't have a light on them. So I got 2 of those, and I want to say I did look those up to see what they were going for. Of course, if I remember to do so, I will insert a completed listing, or any current listings for those, if I remember to find it. So yeah, so we got that. And then the only other thing that I want to share with you all is this piece. It is just a clear, I think this is made by, or was made by Empoli, because I have the swirl design right here. I've had these in red before. I think I bought those at the Factory Antique Mall when Dad and I were in the Amherst, Lynchburg area. So that was definitely a good pickup. I may or may not offer that this upcoming weekend. We will see. But these were some good things for some pretty good prices for antique malls. So I hope you all enjoyed seeing those items today. Keep your eyes peeled for another video for Friday, and then of course next week. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and watching all of my haul videos. I know I've probably been throwing a lot out at you, but this is my last-ditch effort to get caught up. So, of course, make sure you all stay tuned for my sale on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, as you will be seeing some of these items at that sale. And yeah, if there's something you see that you can't live without that I am going to be selling, you can always email me, and my email is in the description box down below. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.